ഒരു വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് ഇവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. അടുത്തത് ഡിമാൻഡ് സപ്ലൈ ഗ്യാപ്പാണ്. ഇന്ത്യ is projected to maintain high import growth of vegetable oil to meet growing domestic demand, low contribution of global palm and sunflower oil production. Okay, other steps taken for self-sufficiency. Key progress: National Food Security Mission. Okay, oil seeds and oil palm (NFSM) and OSOP launched in 2018-19. It focuses on seed components, breeding, production, distribution, production inputs, equipment, chemicals, fertilizers, and technology transfer, demonstration, training. Okay, National Mission on Edible Oils, oil palm (NMEO) OP launched in 2021-20. It aims to increase oil palm cultivation area from 3.70 to 110 lakh hectares by 2025-26 and focus on northeastern states and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി അനന്ത്യോദയ ആയ സംരക്ഷൺ അഭിയാൻ PM Asha ensures that all seed farmers receive MSP through price support scheme and price deficiency payment scheme. Okay, രാഷ്ട്രീയ കൃഷി വികാസ് യോജന Raftar RKVY Raftar has provisions for crop production related activities on oil seeds. Okay, other special MSP for 7 key oil seeds, namely groundnut, sunflower, soybean, sesame, Niger seed, rapeseed and mustard and safflower. Imposition of 20% import duty on edible oils to protect domestic producers from cheap imports and encourage local cultivation. 2024 budget announcement. Strategy for self-sufficiency in oilseed, mustard, groundnut, sesame, soybean, sunflower. Focus on research, modern farming techniques, marketing linkages, and crop insurance. Okay. Yellow Revolution. It is what as a movement started in 1986-1987 to boost the production of edible oil, particularly from mustard and sesame seeds. The conclusion: the NMEO oil seeds will help increase domestic oil seeds output and support hard-working farmers by developing value chain clusters, okay, providing high-yielding, high oil content seed varieties and improving overall infrastructure such as seed hubs, okay, seed storage units, etc. Furthermore, expanding oilseed cultivation to fallow regions, investments in research and data-driven approaches, as well as public-private partnerships can be explored to transform the sector. News ensure responsible capitalism. Need for responsible capitalism for large economies highlighted by Union Finance Minister at the Tech Leaders Roundtable in Mexico. Minister, while emphasizing on need for responsible capitalism, said that for large economies, the challenge is not just to grow but also to reduce inequality and create opportunities for everyone. What is meant by responsible capitalism? It can be understood as an economic approach to that integrate ethical values into business practices. It emphasizes balancing profit with the social responsibility, ensuring business contribute to societal well-being, fairness, and environmental sustainability rather than focusing solely on shareholder returns. Okay, ethical business practices, corporate governance, responsible capitalism, social responsibility, environmental sustainability, fair wages, and labor rights. Okay. Next, what's the need for social responsible capitalism? Addressing global challenges, it can help companies and governments to respond to challenges like sustainability, inequality, and exclusion. Long-term business sustainability, purely profit-driven models may not be viable. In long-term, responsible capitalism can also help in better adaptation to tech disruptions like AI, etc. Ethical governance and stakeholder capitalism promotes fairness in decision-making, ensuring stakeholders are treated justly and business corporations comply with legal and moral standards. Okay, measures taken to promote responsible capitalism in the corporate social responsibility (CSR) mandated under the Section 135 of the Companies Act of 2013. Okay, environmental regulation, plastic waste management rules, structure, emissions norms for vehicles under BS6, etc. Labor reforms, codes on wage, occupational safety, health and working conditions, Code 2020, etc. Financial sector initiative, RBS priority sector lending norms, SEBI's green board guidance, etc. Annual survey of industries, ASI for financial year 2022-2023. ASI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, MOXP for financial year 2023. ASI provides insight into dynamics of change, composition, growth, and structure of manufacturing industries in terms of key economic indicators. Key highlights: manufacturing gross value added GVA grew by 7.3% in current prices in 2023 over 2021-22. Maharashtra topped, followed by Gujarat in terms of manufacturing GVA. Growth in economic parameters surpassed pre-pandemic level in absolute value terms. Example in investor capital, GVA, employment and wages, etc. Growth drivers for manufacturing sector: manufacture of basic metal, coke and refined petroleum products, food products, etc. Employment 7.4% increase in manufacturing employment in 2023-2024 or previous year. Highest employing state Tamil Nadu, followed by Maharashtra. About GVE, defined as value of output minus value of intermediate consumption and is measure of the contribution of GDP made by an individual producer, industry or sector. GVA is equal to gross output minus intermediate consumption. Unlike the net value added, GVA minus depreciation includes depreciations of capital. NSO provides both quarterly and annual estimates of output measured by gross value added. About ASI, conducted by a collection of statistics at 2008 except in Jammu and Kashmir, conducted under the Jammu and Kashmir collection of statistics at 2010. Industries covered: factories registered under Section 2MI 1 and 2 of Factories Act 1940, BD and Cigar manufacture establishment under the BD and Cigar workers, conditions for employment Act 1960. Electricity undertaken now registered with the Central Electricity Authority (CEA). Units with 100 or more employees registered in the business register of establishment BRE mandated by the states. Okay, input tax credit. Recently, Supreme Court laid down the twin test functionality and essentiality for input tax credit eligibility in construction. Court stated that if building is essential for supplying services like ending or leasing as per Schedule 2, Clauses 2 and 5 of the CGST Act, it may be considered as a plan. Okay, functionality determines whether building a qualifies as a plan or not. Okay, about input tax credits, a mechanism to avoid cascading of taxes, that is tax on tax. Okay, a registered taxable person under GST Act who is paying tax to on the course or furtherance of business can claim and avail ITC credited in electronic ledger. Okay, remissions of duties and taxes on exported products, road tax scheme. Okay, government approved changes to the road tax scheme, change for domestic area tariff area DTA units, okay, extended by 1 year till 30th September 2025 for authorization holders except deemed export oriented units and special economic zones units, okay, applicable till end of this year. Applicability of new rates, okay, from October 10th 2024 based on the recommendations of ROTAP committee. About ROTAP committee introduced in 2021 by Minister of Commerce and Industry, aimed refunding taxes, duties and levies at the central, state and local levels of the exported products. It is replaced by the mechanized exports from India scheme, which was challenged to the World Trade Organization. RBI released report of the committee on MIBOR benchmark. Recently, RBI released a report recommending key changes in methodology for computation of Mumbai Interbank Outright Rate (MIBOR) and proposed transition to a new secured money market benchmark for widely used product, okay, derivatives. What is MIB or first introduced by National Stock Exchange NSE, and it is interest rate benchmark in which banks narrow unsecured funds from one another in the Indian interbank market. It is computed by the and published by the Financial Benchmarks India Private Limited (FPIL) on daily basis. Okay, currently it is computed based on trades executed on negotiated dealing system or NDS call system in the first hour, which is with current MIB or based on narrow volume 1% of the daily money market volume of all transaction. They call money value market, okay, volumes making MIB or accessible to volatility. Here recommendations of the report, okay, change in computation methodology of MIB or include transaction based on first 3 hours instead of first hour, okay, to make MIB or more representative of transaction in called money market and potentially increase its reliability. Benchmark based on security money market, FBIL develop and publish a benchmark based on secured money market computed from trades in the first 3 hours of basket repo and the TREP tri-party repo segments. Okay, about call money market and TREP. Okay, call money market is a financial market where financial institutions and banks lend and borrow funds for short-term needs. Okay, TREP is a repo conduct where a third-party intermediary facilities collateral sections selection, payment, settlement, custody, and management throughout the transaction. Next, we have the RBI study on monetary policy transmission. Okay, Reserve Bank of India (RBI) released a study on monetary policy transmission, MPT, and labor markets in India. Study analyzes impact of informality in labor markets on inflation stabilization and monetary policy, offering new insights on MPT. Okay, about monetary policy. Okay, MPT is a set of actions available to a national central bank (RBI) in India to achieve sustainable economic growth and maintaining price stability by adjusting money supply. Okay, statutory basis. RBI Act of 1934 amended in 2016. MP framework. Central government in consultation with the RBI determines inflation targets in terms of consumer price index CPI verifies flexible inflation targeting. Currently it is 4% with a tolerance of plus or minus 2% till March 2026. Tools direct and indirect instruments like repo rate, okay, reverse repo rate, etc. Types expansion rate, lowering interest rate to simulate economic activity, and contractionary interest rate to slow down activity and prevent inflation. Key findings of the MP transmission improves with more formality in the labor market. Impact on unemployment, contractionary monetary policy. CMP leads to rise in unemployment in both formal and informal markets. Impact on macroeconomic variables. Contractionary monetary policy. CMP leads to decline in aggregate in consumption, inflation, investment, output, capital stock, etc. Monetary policy committee (MPC) about considered by central government to determine policy rates in example repo for achieving inflation targeting. Members 6 members governor RBI, ex officio chairperson 5 other members 2 from RBI and 3 appointed by the government. Okay, voting each member has one vote. Okay, governor exercises the casting vote meeting at least 4 times in a year and a quorum for meeting is 4 members. Okay, India forex reserves cross $700 billion. Okay, India is now the 4th country in the world to have over $700 billion in foreign services following China, Japan, and Switzerland. India reserves can cover 11.9 months of imports, well above the general norms of 6 months. About forex exchange reserves, it comprises of different assets that are held by a central bank. In India, the RBI Act of 1934 contains enabling provisions for the Reserve Bank of India to act as a custodian of forex reserve and manage reserves within the defined objective. Components of reserve in descending order of as per this value. Foreign currency assets is valued in currencies other than the country's own. Gold reserves, special drawing rights, STR, a reserve asset provided by International Monetary Fund (IMF). This value is based on a mix of 5 major currencies: the US dollar, euro, Chinese renminbi, Japanese yen, and British pound sterling. Okay, reserve franchise RTP is equal to the members quota less IM is holding to the members' currency in account. Okay, key driving factor behind the rise in reserve, foreign direct investment and a foreign portfolio investment. Okay, remittances and reserves. Significance or need of forex reserves. Okay, managing crisis, limiting external vulnerability by maintaining forex reserve, currency liquidity by absorbing shocks during the times of crisis. Meet financial obligations. Okay, reserves help pay debts and financing boards. Okay, reassure investors, providing confidence to the markets, especially credit rating agencies, to the effect that external obligations can always be met. Other hand, has a capacity to intervene in foreign exchange markets. UPI 123 and UPI Lite. Okay, to encourage wider adoption of unified payment interface. UPI RBI enhances transaction limits for UPI 123 Pay, UPI Lite. Okay, UPI 123 Pay standard March 2020 enable feature for phone users to use UPI. Okay, this is available in 12 technology already include IVR number app functionality, missed call and proximity sound based payments. RBI enhanced the per transaction limit from 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees. Okay, UPI tell us users to make low value transactions about without entering a UPI pin. RBI enhanced per transaction limit to 1,000 from 500 and overall valid limit to 5,000 from 2,000. Okay, for Carriage released its inaugural sovereign credit ratings. CareEdge. Okay, released its inaugural report on sovereign ratings covering 39 global economies. Thus, CareEdge became the first Indian credit rating agency to enter the global scale rating space, including sovereign ratings. Key highlight assigned in on in AAA ratings to Germany, Netherlands, Singapore, and Sweden. Like India was assigned BBB plus, citing its resilient post-pandemic recovery and its focus on infrastructure investment. India's general government debt to GDP ratio is projected to reduce from 80% currently from to 78% by financial year 30. About sovereign credit rating (SCR), credit ratings are forward-looking opinions on the relative ability on an entity to meet its financial commitments. That is, credit risk or relative creditworthiness of borrower. Okay, SCBR regulates domestic credit rating agencies, CRSAIL, ICRA, CARE, etc. SCR represents an assessment of a country's or sovereign entity's ability to meet debt obligations, including both capability and willingness to repay debt. Okay, SCR facilitates borrowing from global capital markets to low cost, boosts investors' confidence, attracts foreign investment, etc. Currently, SCRs are dominated by US-based rating agencies, S&P, Moody's, and Fitch. Okay, issues prevailing in SCR rating by the US-based rating agencies: lack of transparency on methodologies followed by the rating agency, inadequately capturing the economy's fundamentals. Okay, global CRS are biased against emerging economies, given India low rating despite its position as the fifth largest economy with no default history. Global Family Marketing for GFF launched. Global Family Marketing for GFF was launched at the Food and Agriculture Organization's World's Food Forum (WFF). GFF celebrates the essential role of families, farmers in building sustainable agri-food systems and tackling the impacts of the climate crisis. GFF also marked the halfway completion of the United Nations Decade of Family Farming in 2019. UNDFF was declared by the United Nations General Assembly, and it serves as a framework for countries to develop public policies and investments to support family farming. Family farming is a means of organizing agricultural, forestry, fisheries, pastoral, and aquaculture production that is managed and operated by a family and is predominantly reliant on the family labor on both women and men. Okay, significance of family farming: food security with over 50 million farms worldwide. It is the backbone of food production. It produces 70 to 80% of the world's food in value terms. Nutritional diversity: family farming in low and middle income countries and grow diverse multi-nutritious food and support crop biodiversity. Sustainable stewardship: a family farmer use traditional methods, minimal external inputs to maintain soil health and build a climate resilience naturally. Challenges faced by the family farming: financial barriers, limited access to assistance, genetics and knowledge, fragmentation of land, market access difficulties, climatic threats, lack of generational succession reports, etc. Okay, in a related news, one of the silent and WFF Food and Agriculture Organization, a global framework on water scarcity in agriculture. WSAG adopted the Rome declarations on water scarcity in agriculture. Okay, the WSAG initiative launched at the United Nations Climate Conference in Marrakesh in 2016 to support countries in addressing water scarcity challenges. To mobilize greater political support in terms of policies, legal and institutional framework, access to financing, and responsible water governance. Commitment to reducing inequality. CRI Index 2024 released. Okay, CRI is released by the Oxfam and Development Finance International. CRI assesses the commitment of 164 countries and regions to fight inequality. SDG 10 aims to reduce inequality. It assesses the performance on the basis of the three parameters: public service spending, progressive taxation, and labor rights. And which key highlights of the index rank top performance: Norway, Canada, and Australia. Worst performance: South Sudan, Nigeria, etc. India rank 127. Other South Asian countries such as Nepal 115 and Sri Lanka 118 have performed better than India. Interesting inequality gap between the global South and the global North has suddenly grown more rapidly than any time since World War II. Billions of people face the terrible hardship of high and rising food prices and hunger, while the number of billionaires has doubled in the last decade. Okay, key driving factors: conflict, debt crisis, and climate shocks. Those are constraining spending in low and lower middle income countries. 80% of the countries have reduced their spending on education, health, and or social production. Key recommendation to reduce inequality: put in place realistic and time-bounded national inequality, reduce plans NIRPs to reduce inequality with regular monitoring. All countries should ensure that health budget is at its 50% of total public expenditure, and education 20% increase progressive taxation by taxing into income of the richest measure to take it to reduce inequality in India. Job creation example Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Manrega financial conclusion example PM Jan Dhan Yojana educational skilling example Right to Education Act 2009 other startup India etc. All India Rural Financial Inclusion Survey 2021-22 and award released second All India Rural Financial Inclusion Survey NFIS 2000 NFIS was launched in 2016-27 as national level survey that offers comprehensive overview of rural population in terms of their status of livelihood and levels of financial inclusion, including loans, insurance, pensions, etc. The second NFIS provides key insight into economic and financial indicators of rural development since 2016-27. Key highlights of survey: average monthly income of household increased by 57.6%. Share of food in consumption basket of household declined from 51% to 47%. Kisan Credit as a prominent instrument of financial inclusion in rural farm sector has been found to be very effective. Average size of landhold declined to 0.74 hectares from 1.08 hectares. So, proportion of respondents indicating good financial literacy increased from 33.9% to 51.3%. Proportion of agricultural household that looks loans from institutional sources increased from 60.5% to 75.5%. This is for rice and rural government support. Example under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, 5.6 crores households availed employment, generated thus increasing their incomes and provides livelihood security. Rise in rural female labor force participation rate from 19.7% in 2029 to 27.7% in 2021. Economic Survey 2022 Carbon Award National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It was found based on recommendations of B. Shivaraman Committee. Okay, it is India's apex development bank established in 1918 under the Act of Parliament to promote sustainable and equitable agriculture and rural development. Okay, NAF Index. Okay, a measure of financial inclusion based on field level data collected through NAFIS 2016. NAF Index has been constructed for different states of India. Three dimensions: traditional banking products, modern banking products, and payment systems are considered for constructing the index. Okay, government notifies offshore areas operating night rules 2000 rules notified under the Offshore Areas Mineral Development and Regulation Act 2022 aim at regulating exploration and production of minerals in specified offshore regions. This is significant. The background of the planned first ever offshore mineral auctions of 10 blocks. These blocks will include sand, lime, mud, and polymetallic nodules. Key highlights of fruits: applicability of minerals in offshore areas except mineral oils and hydrocarbons are specified atomic minerals. These are provides for surrender for at least for lease after 10 years in case of an economic production operation. Provide for priority access to government and government-owned companies in case of operating rights for reserved offshore zones. Okay. Next, offshore mining and its significance, also called as deep sea mining. Offshore mining is a process of retrieving mineral deposits from deep sea, but that is ocean below 200 will require to increase demand for metals in context of depleting terrestrial deposits and reduce dependence on mineral imports. Issues or challenges in offshore mining: potential environmental damage can endanger biodiversity by habitat destruction, underwater noise, and pollution. Impact of fishing communities may harm fish population, impact livelihood of fishing communities, technology lack of adequate R&D and technological development for deep sea mining. Initiatives taken for offshore mining: Offshore Areas Mineral Development and Regulations Act of 2002 for development and regulations of mineral resources. Deep Ocean Mission under Minister of Earth Sciences for deep sea and mineral exploration. Example: Samudrayan Mission and Matsya 6000. Okay, International Seabed Authority (ISA) allotted 10,000 square kilometers of area of India in 2016 for exclusive explorations of polymetallic modules in Indian Ocean. National Electricity Plan Transmission. Union Minister of Power launched National Electricity Plan transmission. National Electricity Plan (EB) transmission has been developed by the Central Electricity Authority (CEA) interested under the Electricity Act of 2003. Transmission system and establish a link between the source of generation and distribution system which is connected to load or ultimate consumer. Key highlights of NEP's transmission: aim of transmitting of 500 gigawatts of renewable energy installed capacity by 2030 and our 6,600 gigawatts by 2030. It is aimed at meeting a peak demand of 458 gigawatts by 2032 and will expand transmission network from 4.85 lakh kilometers circular kilometer in 2024 to 6.48 lakh square kilometers. Okay, centikilometers lakh kilometers in 2032. Inter-regional transmission capacity is planned to increase to 168 gigawatts by 2030 from present level of 119 gigawatts. Okay, incorporates innovative elements in transmission sector such as integration of 10 gigawatts offshore wind farms, 47 gigawatts battery energy storage systems, and 30 gigawatts pumped storage plants. Aims to address power needs of green hydrogen and green ammonia manufacturing hubs of coastal locations. Covers cross-border interconnections with Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and probable interconnections with the Saudi Arabia, UAE. Okay, challenges in India's transmission system, transmission losses, issues in integration with renewable sources, obsolete technology, skewed focus on regulators towards generation, cybersecurity, etc. Okay, Central Electricity Authority, CEA, it was established under the repealed Electricity Supply Act of 1949, which has been substituted by Electricity Act of 2003. Member CEA consists of not more than 40 members, including chairperson of whom not more than 80 members are full-time members appointed by the central government. Functions advise central government on national electricity policy, specify technical standards for constructions of electric plants, etc. Hand in hand HIH initiative, Food and Agriculture Organization FAO opened the 2024 hand in hand investment for about HIH launched in 2019 by FAO. It supports implementation of nationally-led ambitious program to accelerate agri-food systems transformation by eradicating poverty SDG 1, ending hunger and malnutrition SDG 2, reducing inequality SDG 12. It uses advanced geospatial modeling analytics as well as a robust partnership building approach. Okay, areas of intervention, developing value chains for priority commodities, building agro industries, etc. Number 72 countries, India is not a member. Okay, National Agricultural Code NAC. Okay, Bureau of Indian Standards is creating NAC similar to National Building Code and National Electrical Code. About NAC code will have two parts. Okay, first will contain general principles for all crops, and second will deal with the crop specific standards for paddy, wheat, oil seeds, and pulses. NAC will cover all agricultural processes and post-harvest operations like crop selection, land preparation, and sowing or transplanting, etc. Object is create a national agriculture code that considers agroclimatic zones, crops types, etc. Create a comprehensive guide for farming community and ensure effective decision making in agricultural practice. Addresses horizontal aspects of agricultural like smart farming, sustainability. Okay, Central Silk Road. Recently, the Platinum Jubilee of the Central Silk Board was celebrated. About Central Silk Board, statutory board established in 1948 by an Act of Parliament. Okay, Minister of Trade advised in government on all matters concerning securities, agriculture and silk industry, standardization of various production processes, etc. HQ Bangalore. Okay, say about silk production in India. India's second largest silk producer in the world with 42% of global production in 2023. Karnataka contributed around 32% of total silk production, followed by Andhra Pradesh. Okay, silk produce Ministry of Eri, Tassar and Muga. Humsafar policy. Union Minister of Road Transport and Technology launched the Humsafar policy. About Humsafar policy aimed to provide a comprehensive framework to ensure that the commuters have access to standardized, well maintain and hygiene facilities along national highways and expressways. Okay, key registered service providers will be able to avail a waiver of renewal fees for access permissions if they maintain in an average rating of 3 or higher. Okay, reliable passenger conveyance established at regular intervals. Okay, Cruise Bharat Mission CBM launched. Okay, mission has been launched by the Ministry of Powers, Shipping and Waterways. Okay, about Cruise Bharat Mission to excel India's innovation vision to become a global hub for cruise tourism and promote the country as a leading global cruise destination. It also aims to double cruise passenger traffic within 5 years. That is by 2029. 2024 passenger traffic is 4.6 lakh. Okay, double volume of cruise calls on 254 in 2024 to 500 by 2030. Okay, pharmaceutical phase-wise implementation. Phase 1 2024-25 focus will be on forming a cruise alliance with neighboring etc. Phase 2 25-27 developing new cruise terminals, destinations, etc. Phase 3 27-29. Okay, integrating all cruise circuits across the Indian subcontinent. Okay, 3 key cruise circuits. Okay, ocean and harbor cruise circuit encompasses the ocean rules crisis, including deep sea and coastal cruises, along with harbor-based yachting and sailing cruises. River and inland cruise circuit. Okay, focus on river and inland cruises on canals, backwaters, sea creeks and lakes. Island cruise circuit highlights interland island cruises, lilas, cruise, etc. 5 strategic areas: sustainable infrastructure and gap address infrastructure gaps. Operations include technology enabled aims to streamline productions, operations, regulatory, fiscal and financial policy, launching a national cruise tourism policy. Okay, cruise promotion and security integration, focus on international marketing and investment promotion, capacity building and economic research, emphasizes skill development, etc. Z more project. Recently military attacked Z-Morg project sites in Jammu and Kashmir. About Z-Morg project, it is a 6.4 km tunnel on the Srinagar-Sonamarg highway at an altitude of rupees 8,500 feet, aimed for all wealth connectivity at Sonamarg, a famous tourist destination. It has acquired its name from presence of Z-shaped road stretch at the construction location. Strategic importance, it's a part of the Zojila Channel project that aims to provide all-weather connectivity from Srinagar to Ladakh throughout the year. Girigana, Srinagar, Dras, Kargil and Leh regions. Apart from all-weather connectivity, reduces Army's reliance on air transport. Next, we have security, AI and defense. Quite news. Evaluating trustworthy artificial intelligence, CDA framework and guidance for the Indian Armed Forces were launched by the Chief of Defense Staff. About evaluating trustworthy artificial intelligence, AI framework. It is a risk-based assessment assessed framework designed to ensure integration of reliable emerging technology into critical defense operations. Okay, it defines a comprehensive set of criteria for evaluating trustworthy AI, and ETA guidelines provide specific measures to implement these criteria. 5 principles of ETA framework: reliability and robustness. Okay, safety and security, transparency, fairness, privacy. Okay, here AI and AI systems have been used to ways as platforms providing supporting functions and offensive functions in the defense sector. Okay, supporting functions such as intelligence, surveillance, navigation, and enhanced command and control. CDU cover offensive actions functions such as selecting targets and carrying out strikes such as drone system, swarms, AI-driven hacking, etc. Also, AI also hacks the skills to study patterns of cyber attacks and form productive studies such as against malware attacks. Significance of using AI in various aspects of defense security. Let's see, autonomous weapons and loitering weapon system. It is autonomously researched such as identifies them and educates the following, allowing faster and more precise strikes. Example: Israeli, Harpy, and Harub drones. Okay, enhanced target recognition and precision to identify and engage specific military areas like missile system on a civilian infrastructure if designed. Example: the Iranian made shaded Shahed 136 AI drones in the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, real-time data analytics. Okay, to process huge data from surveillance systems in real time, providing critical intelligence for battlefield decision making. For example, Project Mobile, a US initiative to analyze large quantities of surveillance data. Okay, combat simulation and training. Generative AI can improve military military training and executive educational programs by creating new training materials. Example: training modules for Sukhoi 30 MKI aircraft. Protection of crimes and criminal tracking using command control communication computer and intelligence surveillance for and reconnaissance here for ISR systems. Okay, for example, BEL developed the adversary network analysis tool and okay for the production of attacks, product cyber attacks. AI can detect potential threats and use predictive analysis to help predict future attacks using data analytics. For example, projects developed by the Indian Army for surveillance, garrison security, and population monitoring. Even Article 36 of the Additional Protocol of the 1949 Geneva Convention requires states to conduct legal reviews of all new weapons, means, and methods of warfare in order to determine whether their use is prohibited by international law. Next, we have the issues in using AI in defense. Used by non-state actors, criminals, and terrorists can leverage the power of generative models for planned attacks. Okay, example: Islamic State issued a guide on how to use generative AI tools. Social engineer AI can manipulate the social media algorithm to influence target groups for radicalization. Example: sharing a neo-Nazi AI content on social media sites such as Telegram. Okay, new malware creation works such as the ability to write malware may make AI dangerous in the hands of bad acts. For example, Black Mamba, an AI generated malware can evade most exciting endpoint detection and response CDR. No specific international law to check its limits on civilian production and human rights violation. AI in surveillance and privacy violation. For example, in China's facial recognition surveillance systems is using to track Uyghur Muslims violating their human rights. Ethical concerns, automation bias. It is difficult to differentiate between lawful targets and civilian targets, leading to potential unpredictable attacks due to lack of data. Principle of proportionality. These systems would need qualitative analysis to judge whether an attack carried out against lawful targets would be considered proportionate. So, predictability of an autonomous system. If a weapon cannot be controlled due to inability of an operator to understand the system, these can violate international humanitarian rules. Okay, objectification of human targets. The integration of AI-enabled weapon system facilitated the swift attacks, leading to heightened tolerance for collateral damage. Okay, Indian initiatives in adopting AI defense strategic implementation of AI for national security and defense task force chaired by the C. Chandrasekharan with a view of strengthening AI-based weapon system based on the combination of Defense AI Council, DIC, and Defense AI Project Agency DIPA were set up in 2019. Okay, launched in 75 newly developed AI technology. India Defense Ministry launched AI technologies during the first ever AI in Defense. Okay, AIDF symposium 2024. Steps taken internationally to regulate AI in defense. Okay, a group of government experts on the UN Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons (CCW) was established in 2016 to discuss issues related to technology in the area of lethal autonomous weapon systems, including a first committee of UN approved new resolutions on the lethal autonomous weapons 2023 and suggested an algorithm must be in full control of decisions involving killing recording. UNIDR guidance for the development of national strategies on AI in security and defense in October 2024. International Committee on the Red Cross (ICRC) advocating for a comprehensive and binding set of norms and rules for development and use of autonomous weapon systems for AI. Therefore, for national security, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance (ISR), the Indian military needs to build working relationships with the private technology sector in India, working on the AI space like the US and China. Okay, develop both offensive and defensive cyber war capabilities. As a cyber warfare becomes faster, more sophisticated, it becomes necessary to both products and counter attacks. So for international regulation, need of international law to limit the types of targets with the geographical scope and the context in which they would be employed. Arms control regime on AI. Okay, states and regional organizations carrying AI weapon systems and industry under the arms control regime. Identify principles for responsible military use of AI. Codify such principles in official documents through collaborative multilateral processes. News in short, Globe Network. India has been elected on of steering committee of global operational network of anti-corruption law enforcement authorities. And Globe Network Genesis established in 2021 and UN General Assembly specialist session against corruption UNGASS. Okay, it is an initiative launched under the G20 framework earlier. Riyadh initiative for creation of Globe Networks was approved by G20 in 2020. Objective operational law enforcement and authorities with an anti-corruption mandate can join forces to counter transnational corruption bases. Governance governed by its members and supported by United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime (UNODC). Its secretary members include 121 members. Countries and 219 law enforcement authorities. Minister of Home Affairs Services, a central authority for Globe Network in India. Okay, while CBI and ED represents India as members authorities. Okay, non-kinetic warfare. Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defense will study India's representative with non-kinetic warfare. Okay, now about non-kinetic hybrid war. It was evolving concept that extends beyond the usual military tactics and involves electronic warfare.